You're listening to Tranzmission on 4ZZZ, amplifying the trans and gender non-conforming voices of Brisbane and beyond.
Hello, you're listening to Tranzmission on 4ZZZ. My name is Ez, I use he, him pronouns.
I'm Kai and I use they, she pronouns.
And I'm Sellma and I use she, her pronouns.
Yay!
Yay!
Happy Valentine's Day!
Happy Valentine's Day.
Oh my gosh, well, it's trans people and it's Valentine's Day!
Cute. Do you feel all the love in the air? Because I really do. I woke up, I put on my sexiest little G-string, and I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, hey, babe, want a T for T relationship?
Yeah.
And I said, yes!
V-Day. Who would have thought it'd be full of so much love? Isn't that right? Isn't that what it's supposed to be about?
Sure. I'm pretty sure a guy died in prison. Was that the whole thing with Valentine's?
I don't know about St. Valentine's enough.
I think there's like 3 different St. Valentines. I'm don't know.
Okay, I'm just making it up then.
Talking about it. Oh,
Captain Cook did die today, though, so
yay!
That's a good thing.
Something really worth celebrating.
Yeah. Just like, yes! Anyway, Tranzmission, in case you're wondering, all about amplifying the trans and gender non-conforming voices of Mianjin and beyond. We're all about interviewing interesting people, playing exclusively music by trans artists, preferably local, but, broadly around the world as well. And today we've got a really excellent guest in who we'll introduce after we come back from the news. Charlie Chan, so excited to have them in studio. You should be excited too, and if you're not, that's fine. We'll get you there. But first up, we're gonna talk about a week in community events that you should definitely put in your calendar. Kai, would you like to start with the first one?
Absolutely. We've got All My Thoughts, an evening of folk at the Junk Bar in Ashgrove on Sunday 19th of February at 5:15 p.m. Join Frunky, Bushed Poetry and our very own Junebug for an evening of folk. Think small guitars, harmonica, maybe a banjo, and yodeling. $10 tickets, 5:30 p.m. starts for an early Sunday night bedtime. Very considerate of them.
It is very considerate. Then we also have K Tempest, which will be at the Brisbane Powerhouse in New Farm on Tuesday 21st of February. Doors are at 7:30 p.m. Handsome Tours are delighted to announce the return of the award-winning British spoken word performer, poet, rapper, novelist and playwright K Tempest to Australia and New Zealand in 2023, returning in the wake of the release of their new album, The Line is the Curve, and follows previous acclaimed visits to our shores in 2016 and 2020. And I believe there's some activism stuff going on.
Yes, so location is still to be confirmed for this one, but Fight the Right protest the speaking tour of right-wing UK transphobe Kelly J. Keane, a.k.a. Posey Parker. So who is...
Wait, did she make it in?
Apparently.
Yeah.
She's not in yet.
Ugh, sorry.
So this protest is for Sunday, March 12th at 3 p.m.
I'll be there.
So I guess it was Stephen Bates who wrote that letter to try to prevent her entry, but I assume that's not going well. So the next step is to protest her being here. Who is Kelly J. Keane? She is one of the most recognisable and active anti-trans activists in the UK. She has recently announced a speaking tour of Australia and New Zealand. Keane is on a mission to build links between the far-right and anti-trans feminist activists. The far-right are using transphobia to build support, and activists like Keane aim to link up the far-right with anti-trans feminist groups. Keane is a part of the Hands Across the Aisle coalition, which aims to connect anti-trans radical feminists with conservative Christian anti-LGBT groups. So that's the information from the event, right?
Yeah, that's straight out of the event there. Mm-hmm. I'll also be popping that up on the Tranzmission social media as well, at Trans Radio with a Z. You can check out that event there, which will be, looks like Sunday, March 12th. Still not sure on the exact location of where she's speaking, so you best to follow that event, and then you'll get updates from there. So we'll pop all that up on our social media. Anywho, we'll move on because I really want to get talking to Charlie.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're listening to Tranzmission on 4ZZZ. My name is Ez. I use he, him pronouns.
I'm Kai and I use they, she pronouns.
And I'm Sellma and I use she, her pronouns.
And we're about to interview someone who I'm very excited about. I'm gonna read a bio first because I want to like make this dramatic. You know, I want to create an energy in here.
We need some like synth pads.
Yeah, and I could have also like queued up like a song or something. You know. Anyway. Charlie Chan is an Australian composer, pianist, multi-instrumentalist, and recording artist. They have written soundtracks, scores, and themes for feature films, TV series, and theatre productions, is sought after as a public speaker on composition and digital innovation topics, plus also writes and records ambient solo piano compositions. Please, without further ado, welcome Charlie Chan! I'm here. Yes, oh thank God. How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm so loving being here. You guys are awesome.
We love you already.
Yeah, I'm smitten.
Yeah.
It's Valentine's Day, so it's appropriate.
It's just like this is going to be the love song dedication, moment for all of us. We can just dedicate these tracks to each other.
We can.
beautiful.
That's
We can
just have
beautiful.
love.
Stop it, Charlie. You're so making me red. I told you already. I've got my sexiest G-string on. What's your favorite? I mean, this is an out there question, but do you have a particular underwear that you wear for piano playing?
Oh my gosh, great question.
It is because I have
question.
undies for the stage.
That has to be the most outrageous question anybody's ever asked me, and I
glad.
love it. No. A couple of years ago, like I'm going to say this as a trans person, I really struggled with underwear.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll go to Target and I'll get those underwears that the girls wear because apparently I'm a girl. Anyway, I went through this whole process, and then Booty came along, and they had their boy pants.
Yes, yeah,
And I'm
I
like,
love them.
This makes a bit more sense. Mm-hmm. And so, it is a thing. You start wearing different underwear. When you finally work out who you are, you come out, you say to yourself, the underwear has to change. So it was a really good question, Selma.
I'm glad. Thank you. My headphones dropped out and I couldn't hear my voice, and then I found out I was talking about underwear, so I'm sorry.
I think it's the best question I've ever been asked.
I personally, when I'm on the stage, I have very particular underwear that I wear. I need things that hold me in, make me feel confident and sexy. So I feel like you might need like relaxing underwear to play the piano, to keep you upright and tinkling on the... No, that didn't sound right on the piano. I'm going to stop.
Just keep going.
I'm stopping while I'm ahead. And I'm not ahead at all.
No, it's beautiful. I love it. No, I think the thing about the piano is it's a motor skill that requires more than your underpants. How about that?
Yes. I have been recently learning the piano after many years of wanting to do it, and it is a motor skill, and I get very frustrated with myself. So making 52 plus albums with piano solos, that's pretty bloody incredible.
Yes, it's wild. I love it.
It's a feat.
Yeah. How do you feel about what you're creating?
Well, I mean, I have to be honest, a lot of this is already in the can. So I'm slightly older than this lovely group. I've been recording, writing film soundtracks and recording music for 30 years. And so with the advent of digital, I spent a lot of time just making as much as I felt like making, because suddenly you didn't have a $300 master, tape that costs $300. Now it's like my computer's just run out of hard disk space. I'm going to Officeworks. It's really simple. So I just recorded and a couple of, I don't know, about 18 months ago, 2 years ago, I was sitting, going through a few hard drives in the middle of COVID because I was doing a live stream, and I went, I need some music. I've got all this stuff that I recorded. Every time I write a film soundtrack, I sit down and I play the piano for a couple of days, and the net result is all those solo piano works. And then I find whatever the idea is, and I say, that's going to be the perfect piece of music for that score. And we lay that up, and things start to make sense, and the rhythm and the tempos all start to make sense. And so then you're left with this legacy of a hard drive which you just put on a shelf. And so as I was going through looking for new material, I made this discovery, and I didn't think much of it. I sort of put it away, and then I met a new person who came into my life, who I hope is listening. And she said to me, my darling Courtney said to me, I was talking to her about this thing, and she said, you should just release it all. And I thought to myself, I don't think it's good enough. And she said, let me listen. So we just started this little back and forth. I think we kind of made the lesbian joke before about how the lesbians like to strat plan and organise.
Yes.
And so this became a little thing that we did together. I played all the music for her. We were actually in Tasmania, where she was living at the time. And, there was merit in the pieces. So then I started to collate them into something, and I played them for my engineer, and he said, oh yeah, this is really good. And so he started to master them a little bit, and we put some reverb on them. And then it came time to, how will I ever name all these pieces? How will I work out what they are? And my obsession with the stars and the night sky, I thought, and I really want to go to space one day as an astronaut. I mean, for real.
I love that.
I really want to. And the outfit.
Yeah.
Come on, it's about the outfit.
Nah, I hear ya.
Helmet. Anyway, the excitement was, okay, we're looking at the sky. There's myriad constellations in the sky. There's an opportunity to reorientate ourselves from here, the Earth, to look up. And for all of those songs and those tracks, those pieces of music, to be labelled in some fashion. And the idea was, actually another friend of ours, Tina, who's a drummer, had an exhibition. And one of the greatest things was she labelled her artworks, she gave them an intensity. When she saw a picture, she gave it an intensity, and then she played drums to it. And I didn't actually see the show, but it was fantastic. I actually bought one of the artworks because it was so amazing. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make, and I'm going off topic, is that the stars all have an intensity, and they're all labelled. They're labelled that way. So, the track Mood Geminorum is the brightest star in the Gemini constellation. So each of the tracks got labelled according to their intensity, and then they were just put in an order that made sense.
I love that.
Yeah, it's sweet, isn't it? And so in the end, it sort of got a life of its own. It gained momentum, and it wasn't until I sat there and went, well, there's like 1,962 billion tracks just about. There's thousands of tracks. I could be going for years, but I won't. I'll only do 52. A year's going to be enough.
And did you find that all of one album was off one hard drive usually, or would you chop and change and add in, or...?
I think they're slightly chronological because there's only so much your brain can do, I think. I think in the end, there was a period of time when it all started and I could sort of see it. And chronologically, it makes sense because I think about what I was playing then, the 23 or 24-year-old version of me, the 29-year-old version of me, all of these periods of time, I was having all these experiences. And so the inspiration for the works is the experience. And the point of the piano playing is to filter and express. So, I play the piano because I love it, but I also play it because it's a pure form of expression for me. And it's nice to sort of feel it chronologically grow. And I think as the year goes on, it'll just get more and more interesting, I hope.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Your stuff is amazing, and I just can't believe how long you've been doing it for. I have to ask, you've had such a long career, and I remember you saying that you started playing, you touched the piano at 3 and you were playing, You had a really incredible, really incredible body of work. And coming out and transitioning, how recent is this, and how is that affecting what you're creating? Is it changing anything? Did you need new underwear? Do you feel better? How has that changed for you?
I think we've answered the underwear question.
I think so. We really started off hot early.
We started off very early. I have to say that, I didn't have sort of one of those come to Jesus moments. I didn't have that thing where it was like, oh my God, I must be that. I sort of did. I had a moment of dysphoria. I was looking at the mirror. I was walking down the stairs. Excuse me. I was walking down the stairs in my warehouse, and I was walking down, and I nearly fell over because I saw this mirror, and I went, oh my God, is that who I am? And it's like I hadn't seen myself before, ever. And I don't know whether or not it was how I was dressed, what I was feeling internally. It's all wiring, chemistry. I sort of became aware of that, and then I just sort of went, oh, actually, you know what, fuck it, I reckon I'm trans. I'm just going to do it and see what that feels like. And then I went, sorry, did I just get bleeped out? Was that?
No, you're fine.
We're on community radio, sorry. There's no dump button. Anyway, I was I started to do things like, okay, what do I need to know? And I think somebody at my age, going back then, I mean, I've always been really androgynous. I've always worn suits. I've always had that thing about me. I mean, my name's Charlie, for goodness sake. I got that name when I was 17. And it's because I was probably slightly androgynous, a little bit more butch. I sort of veered on the side. I had short hair. And my mother cried the day I came home. I had short hair. She cried.
Let her cry.
I've still got it, the hair.
You kept the hair, Charlie.
don't know.
You're an icon.
It's weird.
No, I've got
Hey.
lots of different hair locks underneath my bed. They're not all mine.
Is there Glad wrap and there are knives involved or something?
No, nothing like that. It's more a sneaky thing.
It's like it's making me think of like Charlie's Angels. With
Yes,
the
I'm
whole-
screaming hair guy.
Crispin, that fantastic actor.
Yeah,
Mm.
Kristen
Yeah.
Glover.
He's great.
Yeah.
He does creepy very well.
He does creepy, and he's very handsome too.
Creepy and handsome.
He's handsome. So the whole thing was going on in the sense that it's probably been going on for a long time. I felt that in changing my name, I felt more myself, and then that was enough. And there was no internet, so we had no way of finding stuff out. You could go to dances with lesbians, you could hang out with a lot of lesbians, and then there were this kind of like other region of people that were sort of really marginalised on the outskirts of everything. And I sort of didn't, you know what I thought to myself, I'm going to be honest, I thought that's going to be really hard. I think I might be that, but I think that's going to be really hard. And then I just dismissed it because I'm basically madly playing music, writing for theatre, working in films, trying to have a career, going through multiple different complicated relationships as you do when you're young, trying to work yourself out.
Yeah, you've been busy.
I've been a little bit busy, as you're probably quite busy, not much time. And so I got to 50 and I stood in front of the mirror and something changed. And then I just went, you know what, there are resources now, let's go find them. So off I went to the Transgender Centre in Sydney, and I was the oldest person in the group. But, you just start to sort of own that part of you. And then, I don't know, something else happened about 4 or 5 years ago where I just sort of thought, you know what, I'm going to be a they, them. That makes more sense to me because this she thing was really bothering me. It started to bug me. And in ways that I hadn't really thought about before. And then I woke up and I went, I think trans non-binary makes sense for me. And I think there's going to be a part of me that may or may not transition, but there's a part of me that will make other changes. And they're the important ones. And they're the ones that are outwardly facing that people see. And I think I have a responsibility as a kind of slightly an elder or an older person to be a lot more visible because I do have a bit of a platform. It's small now, but, I'm going to have thousands of followers soon.
You will.
Thousands.
You will.
So my platform is playing music, being myself, and being visible. So it's going to be a really, really good time for me this year because I'm actually it's like the music's coming out and I am in a really much bigger way than I was. Changing your pronouns on social media is not the same as going all out in the media. It's a slightly different thing. And I'm hoping that actually helps other people because there are a lot of us and I think people we still have that feeling of it's a little bit scary on the fringe and I don't quite understand some of this stuff. And even me, I just go, it's a revelation being with you. I love being here with you. It feels really supportive. It's lovely and we need more of it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And, thank you so much for wanting to be recognizing that we need more people to look up to that look more like us, and live life differently. It's, a big part of why we do what we do on this show as well.
And you being here is a huge thing, and like you actively reached out to us, which is I feel so honoured that
I will out as was a bit like everybody. Charlie Chan is coming up. We got a big one. Like it was so exciting.
Oh no, it's very good to be here. I mean, as I said when we were coming in, community radio. It's a lifeblood and it's a lifeline for a lot of people. So, thank you.
And thank you for being open and honest and playing all the keys and knowing,
Knowing
all your notes
Oh my
and
God,
all
love
your
song
music.
dedications. I can feel it coming on.
Yes.
what we're actually what we'll do is we're going to play Mu Geminorium by Gemini Charlie Chan, of course. What's this song about?
So it's a solo piano work.
Yeah.
So unless you would like to sing, Selma.
I can
you
maybe
could read poetry
give me some,
over it if you like.
Give me some words and I'll start.
We would just be talking about a lot of twins. This piece is really interesting because I think it's actually a more recent piece. It basically goes in this really wonderful cycle where it's rhythmically very interesting. It's kind of slightly African, it's slightly Asian, it's slightly a bunch of things, and that's why I really, really like playing it. I love playing it for people. And I think, for me, I mean, I'm half Chinese and I'm half Australian, but my mother's Scottish. She's actually Scottish-Polish, but she thinks she's more Scottish. Anyway, it's sort of like a whole combination of lots of really things interesting culturally for me. So, that's why that piece is the way that it is. And it was very intense. The brightest star in that constellation, Mu Geminorum.
All right, let's do it. Amplifying the voices of the trans and gender non-conforming community of Meanjin, Brisbane and beyond.
Transmission on 4ZZZ brings you the latest in trans community news, music and events.
Every Tuesday from 9am till 10am.
Join our team of hosts for an hour of celebrating the unique perspectives of the trans community.
Transmission, Tuesday mornings from 9am till 10am on 4ZZZ. You're listening to Transmission on 4ZZZ. My name is Ez. I use he, him pronouns.
I'm Kai and I use they, she pronouns.
I'm Sellma and I use she, her pronouns.
And we're hanging out in studio with Charlie Chan, who is an incredible Australian composer and has worked in many different fields from film and television series, and is also having releasing 52 albums a week for this entire year.
52 albums, one a week.
One a week.
That's right.
One a week for the entire year of 2023.
2023. Actually, and into 2024. The last one drops on, I think, the 23rd of January next year.
It follows
Because it's for the lunar year.
the lunar year, yeah.
Because I'm Asian, I had to do something.
It's like, it's actually a much more appropriate time as well to have a new year, as far as I'm concerned, is based off of stars.
My birthday's on the 2nd of January. You know what that's like after New Year's. Nobody comes to the party.
It's like, I'm too tired, too drunk and tired and hungover.
Everybody's so wasted. Just can't be bothered.
You just need to have your birthday on New Year's Day and then keep it going until the 2nd.
Have it like a bender.
But we've got Hot 100 on New Year's Day. So.
Yeah, Hot
That's
100. True. And I don't drink, so I mean,
True.
I'll have a bender of coconut water.
Ooh, little tune.
Gonna be so hydrated.
Getting coconutty.
So hydrated. What am I talking about?
Love it.
Before we went to some music, we tried to play some music, which we've been sent, but it's on a different platform from what I'm used to playing. So apologies for not being able to push play. We're gonna give it a go now because I really would like to play this track. This is Charlie Chan with Mu Geminorum, Gemini. So hit play when you're ready.
My name is Georgie Stone, and you're listening to Transmission on 4ZZZ.
Yeah, you're listening to Transmission, 4ZZZ.
Yay!
Yes!
It's Valentine's Day! I wanted to say that if my gardens were the entire solar system, genders, sorry, I was like sitting here just watching the chaos unfold in front of me going, yes, what if my genders were the entire solar system?
Look, we've got the music sorted now.
Yay!
We're here, it's happening.
We're done teasing you
We're
now.
done. We're really
we're on
teasing
take
you today.
3. We're on take 3 of how to find a lightning connector to connect to the studio. Where is the audio? Is it on? There are 5 phones in here, and none of them connect.
None of them.
to the
Yeah, no.
system.
But look, you see, the tech guy for 4ZZZ, Pat. Shout out to Pat. Thank you for everything you do. He's gonna give me crap now because he'll be like, you could have just done this. He'll come in here and he'll show me at some point, and he'll be like, thanks.
He'll do it just like that.
He'll do it just like click his fingers. Anyway, let's not point out that because he will come in and he will do that.
He's just standing at the door.
Yeah, he'll be upstairs. We're having a chat today with Charlie Chan, who is just an exceptional pianist and music composer, really. And I'm just so glad to have you here. We're talking about music, we're talking about gender, we're talking about how gender influences music. And Sellma, obviously, fantastic, co-host of Transmission, also an excellent artist. Artist on artist conversation here.
Artist
T for
on
T.
artist.
Yeah, that's
it.
for A. On a T for T kind
I'm
of day.
so daunted as well. Like, I can't fathom putting out 52 plus albums.
I know people said to me, "Why are you even doing that? Like, why don't you just put them all out at once? Why don't you just put out one? Why don't you just pick the best?" And it's like, they're
It's
all
exciting.
good. There's
And
good
I
stuff
think,
in there.
I like your idea of the lunar year and the intensity of the stars. I can't wait to give it a little listen and follow along and see what you've put together.
Thank you.
It's very
Lovely.
exciting,
Well,
and it sounds like it fits within your wheelhouse of being a composer and making. I love world building. That's my favorite thing about being an artist. It's what world I get to build around myself and allow other people in on. So I can't wait to listen to yours and figure out things. That's all. I was like, I can't wait
Figure
to
out
listen
what
to your
world I come
world.
from,
Yeah,
which world
exactly.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I mean, the world needs more harmony. Every time we put vibration into the world, every time we speak good things, every time we think good things happen.
I believe that to the core of my soul. I believe that.
And music is one of those really great things. And Selma, I'm looking forward to listening to what you do.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, it's outrageous and I love it. It's
Outrageous? Outrageous.
Yeah.
It's very loud, it's very queer, it's very camp, and it's 4ZZZ play it every now and again, and I'm just really excited. I'm very fresh in my music journey, Charlie, and have been really enjoying learning music and giving myself new tools to express. So it's been very freeing and opening. So.
Yeah. Well, the power of the piano is just sitting there with it, is being with it. It's got little secrets and it unravels and it shows you things. So you might be sort of trying to school yourself into what chord is that? That's a triad, a tetrachord. Trying to do, octave consecutives, like scales, harmony. Don't torture yourself.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing and the secrets that are unfolding for me at the moment is the patience that it's giving me for myself, because I'm very much a hard learner. If I get things wrong, I beat myself up. If I do things wrong, I beat myself up. So the piano is teaching me to be kinder to myself. And it's funny because I've never been good at learning at school. And now that I've gone back to learning, and especially with something that I love and I have a passion for, it's a whole other kettle of fish. I've just been loving it so much, and I love what you said about the little secrets unfolding in front of you, because it's
and every piano has a tone and an experience that it can bring to you. It's all the music that other people have played on it. So if you get an older piano, you get all this stuff back that you wouldn't know, notes that somebody's played endlessly, scales they've played, worn paths. It's a bit like all our kind of intellectual neurology.
Yeah. We
get little pathways. The piano has its own little thing. And then you can break it out. I mean, you tune a piano and it becomes something else as well. It vibrates very differently. Anyway, I'm not going to get on the love affair of me and the piano.
Oh, you could,
I
because
just talk about it forever.
My mum has this beautiful piano. She grew up in central Queensland in Barcaldine, and she grew up in a picture theatre, running a picture theatre with her mum. And they have this beautiful piano, ivory keys, which you can't really get now. And it's just, she's restored it and she's taken really good care of it, and she loves it, and it weighs an absolute ton. And I've never heard a piano sound like hers.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what brand it is?
No, I don't.
Text your mum.
I should, Mum. I know you're listening.
She is listening.
If you're listening, please text me and tell me what your piano is, because she absolutely loves it, and it's just I just never. I attempted to learn when I was little the piano, but I ended up gravitating more towards the guitar. And my dad's Latin American, so the classical Latin American guitar was just won me over from the beginning.
So Zed, what's the name of the cinema that your mother played at?
So it was, my mum worked in Barcaldine Picture Theatre, which is I don't know if it's got a name. It's just the picture theatre out there, because it's a really small town.
She played for silent films?
No, she didn't play for silent films. I believe it belonged as a community piano in the picture theatre there.
Yeah, wow.
And she just, she sold movie tickets and sold the popcorn when she was a kid, working first job in a picture theatre. Yeah. And she has, just piano is very, very special to my mum. So, and I know she was particularly excited to hear you chat. So, Charlie,
you got my two favourite things together, screen and music. Pianos and screens. It's a great thing.
Yes. It's making me think of the film Tar, actually, with
that we just
Kate Blanchett that we just saw, and composition, and I mean that was not really so much more about music as that was about something else. But
slightly obnoxious story. Sorry.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, we have a show on 4ZZZ called Film Club, and they went right into it as well. Talked about breaking that down. Anyway, I'll stop plugging other shows. But you with the piano and screen and you've done. Was it McLeod's Daughters?
I've done a lot of Australian staples, because that's actually how you feed yourself. So you have to actually do some of those jobs. I got so tired. I did 23 episodes of McLeod's Daughters. The 24th episode arrived, and I'm going to admit this on air. I put it back in the envelope with a little handwritten note saying, I can't do this anymore. I sent it back to them. I think my name is Mud. I was just young, I was 25. It was just too much. I was doing that. I think I had 4 projects going at once, and I was overwhelmed, and I didn't have enough support. I think, good lesson to everybody. If you don't have enough support, go get some. And I think that projects that I love. I mean, I've done things that I've really loved. When I worked on Me, Myself, I, which was way back in the history books.
Classic film.
A classic film, apparently, for somebody. Anyway, it was 1998, 1999, somewhere in there. And, it was a really interesting project because we were just at the pinnacle of digital technology taking off. And so I had this amazing Pro Tools set up, and I'm like going, wow, and copy and paste that there. Well, score's done. You can do so much now. Now the power of using technology and writing music using technology is, okay, I can make this even better than I had ever imagined. I was listening to Trevor Horn, who produced Grace Jones, amazing artists that we love, the Pet Shop Boys, Dusty Springfield. And the interesting thing was, he said that he got a Fairlight. Now, you guys won't know what that is because it's 1980 when the Fairlight was created and introduced, an Australian instrument. The Thompson Twins, Boy George, Trevor Horn, Grace Jones, all used the Fairlight. And today, when you listen to Slave to the Rhythm, it 100% stands up. So all this technology started to come in and it enabled us to write film scores way more easily. Get a video, put the video alongside the audio really easily. In the old days, you'd have a room, the size of 4 studios with all these tape machines, and you'd hit play, you'd have to wait for the thing to spin up, and then you'd write the music. It was really different. It's like, it's really sort of no excuse to having a bad soundtrack now because you've just got so much technology to help you.
Yeah, right. I have to segue because we're running out of time, and I really, really want to play Mood Geminorium because I've been teasing everyone for this entire episode. We're gonna do it. Thank you so much for tuning into Transmission. Thank you so much, Charlie, for being
thanks
here.
for having me. I'm so happy to be here. It was so great.
Yeah,
you guys are awesome.
Fun.
You'll be coming back. We'll be getting you back for sure.
Thanks, honey.
This one here is Mood Geminorium by Charlie Chan. Thank you. You've been listening to Transmission on 4ZZZ. If you'd like to listen back to anything, you can head over to 4ZZZ.org.au and you can listen back to all of our shows on demand. And you can, that's up to 5 episodes back. So if you missed anything, you can head back there. This one here is Mood Geminorium by Charlie Chan. Have a lovely Valentine's Day.
We love you.
Yeah, I was about to say, hey, love you all.
We love you all.
We love you all.
Specifically, our trans listeners, we love you the most. We love you. We love you. We love
Biggest
you.
love.
I love my Courtney.
Thank you so much for listening to Transmission. See you next Tuesday, 9 to 10 a.m. on 4ZZZ.